At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. A little late this morning. We had a little bit of a minor glitch as I was getting ready to go live, but we were able to kind of fix that issue here pretty quickly. Taking a look at a live shot from our Divine Sky Cam overlooking Redding, and just another gorgeous start to the day. And hey, let's take a closer look at Mount Shasta. This is the Lake Shastina Golf Resort. A view from there, and sponsored by Elwood Ranch. And yeah, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Lots of snow on the mountain there. But, you know, if we just looked at it even just a few days ago, a lot of those bare spots weren't there. But, of course, with the sunny skies and the warmer temperatures, we're starting to see things begin to kind of clear out on that mountain. Taking a look at a live shot from our Crescent City Harbor District Cam. Looks like it is a little overcast. This is not 100% live. Tell you what, let's make sure that this is accurate. And this is what we're looking at here. And let's see here. There we go. Yep, that's what it looks like out there this morning. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, we've got the overcast skies there. That marine layer has kind of made its way back to the coast, and that's the reason why you're seeing a lot of the clouds out there this morning. Taking a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Tuesday, June 2nd. Oh, it's a mild start to the day, especially out towards the Redding area at about 61 degrees. Temperatures generally, though, in the mid to upper 50s for the central parts of the valley, although 62 in Willow, 62 for Chico. There you can see Alturas about 37. A little chilly there this morning, 50 degrees in Susanville, and upper 40s right now for the coast. There's your skeeter meter for the week. We are on a scale of 0 to 5 at a 2. Last week we were at 2.5, so we did see it drop a little bit here. But, of course, it's that time of the year. You're going to start noticing those skeeters more and more. You can always call the number on your screen. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about mosquitoes where you live, Shasta Mosquito and Vector Control will be there to answer your questions or take care of any of your issues. Out the door this morning, well, there you go. Temperatures right now in the upper 60s, or by 8 o'clock, upper 60s for the valley. Still some of the low clouds for that for the coast. That marine layer is going to hug the coast here through most of the day. But you'll also notice, look at all those clouds off to our west. Yeah, those are coming in here later on this afternoon and evening. And check this out. Those clouds will be more in the way of high and mid-level clouds by the second half of the day. And eventually, maybe even a sprinkle or two for parts of Northern California as well. More on that in our deeper dive here in just a bit for tonight. But there you can see today, mid-90s for the valley, 80s and 90s for the mountains. And for tonight, we're talking low to mid-60s in the valley, 40s and 50s for the higher elevations. And looks like temperatures should be right around 50 for the coast. There's your 7-day outlook. Low to mid-90s for the valley through Friday. Then we're down to the 80s. The normal high is the upper 80s. So we will be right around or just below normal for this time of the year for the weekend and into early next week. For the coast, upper 50s, low 60s, although by Saturday, Sunday, Monday, mid to upper 50s. For the inland areas, we'll be back down to the low 80s by tomorrow, as well as Trinity County, but then in the 70s by Saturday. And for Siskiyou, Modoc County, the Eastern Mountains, generally upper 70s, low 80s through Friday. A little bit warmer for Susanville, upper 80s, low 90s, and then we see that dip in the temperatures going into the weekend and early next week. Here's your fire weather outlook for today and really the next few days. The main concern are the winds picking up later this week. Not necessarily today, but tomorrow. Look at the winds. They're out of the north-northwest for the valley, over 30 miles per hour, especially on the west side of the valley there. Now, the winds may subside a bit for Thursday, although look at the coast. Pretty gusty there. That's not necessarily a concern for the fire danger, though. But look at Friday. Those winds are really picking up Friday for the valley, over 30, maybe 40 miles per hour, especially on the west side of the valley. So this is our fire weather risk. The color coding takes into account temperature, wind, and humidity, right? The numbers on your screen are at the actual humidity levels that are forecast. So we're down to about 10%. That's low. So we do have that elevated fire weather risk. The redeeming factor is the fact that the winds won't be as strong. Now, you'll notice in some spots, especially the north end of the valley, humidity levels may be a little bit higher, but with the stronger winds on Wednesday and the heat, we're going to be looking at elevated fire weather risk. And really, that's the same situation on Thursday. Humidity levels a little bit higher for the Redding area, but in the single digits south of that, and then stronger winds Friday, and we have even higher fire danger as we go into your Friday. So just that time of the year, we need us to really start paying attention to that and focusing on making sure that we do everything we can to prevent new fires from starting, right? Because they can spread rapidly, especially during the high fire weather events. So there's a look at our Divine Sky Cam, overlooking Redding, of course, Mount Shasta off the distance. Beautiful morning out there. And there's a nice close-up view of Mount Shasta from the Lake Shastina Golf Resort Sky Cam, sponsored by Elwood Ranch. Beautiful shot there and mainly clear skies out there this morning. Taking a look at a different perspective of Mount Shasta, kind of a higher vantage point. Turning out to be clear skies there from Soda Ridge. And we take a look at Lassen Volcanic National Park. I don't see any snow. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, a little bit of snow up there. But yeah, I'd say we're done. I'd say we're done with that. All right, so Lake Oroville, a nice little view of the lake there. We take a look now at Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Traffic moving along there, as well as Highway 99 at Neal Road with clear skies this morning. We're going to see some high clouds filtering in, though. There's, again, a look at Harbor District in Crescent City, the overcast skies. And as Jackie Dixon from Trinidad is mentioning that it is good morning from Trinidad, it's a foggy here this morning. And that does not surprise me at all. Thank you, Jackie, for that report. Looking at Bald Hill West down at Hoopa Valley. Yeah. We got mainly clear skies. Just a couple of high clouds out there this morning. Let's take a look at Scott Valley this morning. Yeah, mainly clear skies as well. Well, Coffee with Krueger wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino for their support of Coffee with Krueger. And they've really been the main support of Coffee with Krueger since day one. So grateful for their help. But they've got a lot of great entertainment, folks. One of the big ones they got coming up here this month is the 19th. So 17 days away. It's the 12th annual Bacon and Brew Fest. Forget everything you know about food. Experience a delightful fusion where local brews meet every bacon creation imaginable, from savory appetizers and satisfying entrees to mind-blowing bacon desserts. Tap your feet to the local favorite hook and treat your taste buds to the ultimate $40 tasting event. Get your tickets before the sizzle sells out. Gotta love that play in words. Once again, I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino for their support of Coffee with Krueger. So let's get to those weather headlines. Warmer this week. Mid-90s in the valley, cooler by the weekend, and yes, we've got those strong north winds coming as early as tomorrow. So here's a look at our deeper dive forecast, and this is for your Tuesday, June 2nd. That's today, obviously. Here it is. Temperatures right now, mid to upper 50s, although some of the warmer spots like Chico, Willow, 62, 61 degrees for Redding. For the coast, you're in the upper 40s. A little chilly in Alturas this morning, but that's no big surprise, kind of the high plains up there. 50 degrees out in Susanville and Quincy, about 46 degrees. So the big picture, big swirl, just an impressive storm system, right? Cold front, clouds. Thing is, high pressure down to our south is going to kind of eat away at it. However, we're going to be looking at a lot of these clouds moving in later on today and tonight. More on that a little bit later. Let's take a look at that ridge of high pressure right here building in. Now, you see how it's kind of staying to our south? That's thanks to this. I can tell you this much right now. If this wasn't here and this ridge was allowed to just build over the eastern Pacific and over western United States, you can bet those temperatures this week would be in the triple digits. But this is keeping that from happening thanks to that cooler air. And in fact, it takes over this weekend. And by Saturday, Sunday, it's kind of skirting to our north, but still enough to really drop our temperatures down closer to normal, which is somewhere in the mid to upper 80s for your daytime highs on Saturday and even Sunday. Look at that. Another reinforcing shot of cooler air coming in Monday, even Tuesday of next week. There's the heat, right? It's not over us. That's because of this cooler air kind of preventing that from happening. So here's Futurecast. So we are seeing some breaks in the clouds over the next few days. But look at this. By 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the evening, we're seeing the high and mid-level clouds moving in. No rain just yet. Look at this. You see that? Maybe a passing sprinkle, maybe a light shower here and there. You'll notice the overcast skies for the most part to start off the day on Wednesday. Then it clears out, although we still have some clouds along the coast. And really that marine layer kind of hugging the coast, there will be some spots, especially Del Norte, southern Humboldt, that could see better chances for some afternoon clearing for both Thursday and even for your Friday as well. Drier than normal conditions to near normal conditions for Northern California as predicted by the Climate Prediction Center through June 12th. Not a surprise, we're not expecting any rain in the forecast anytime soon. Also near normal to just slightly above normal. Let's take a look at that 10-day trend. You'll see that, right? So the normal high is about 87, right? 87, 88. We're going to be closer to that, in fact, below that by the time we get into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even Tuesday. But then we tick back up into the 90s by the middle and latter part of next week. So a little bit of a roller coaster ride. Look at this. I don't like to see this because, it's still looking good for Trinity Lake and Lake Oroville, 110% and higher. But we're starting to watch this percentage begin to drop. And before you know it, we will be below 100% for the historical average. But the lakes are still looking good, folks. All right, so we can't be too concerned at this point. Take a look at the wave heights. They're looking pretty good here, dropping a little bit here today and even tonight, tomorrow. But tomorrow afternoon, they should start to pick back up. We may see more small correct advisories by around Wednesday evening into Thursday. We'll see. Winds from the northwest today at about 5 to 10 knots with your waves from the northwest at 3 feet at 6 seconds and from the northwest at 3 feet at about 10 seconds. All right, so here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op. Here you go, folks. We got those temperatures. Yeah, upper 80s, low 90s. Cooler spot will be out in Mad River about 79, Ruth about 85. But notice the temperatures. Pretty warm today, but we do see a nice dip. Mid 80s on average Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then 70s by Saturday. For the North Coast, yeah, you've got temperatures dropping down eventually into the mid 50s by Friday through the weekend and mid to upper 50s by early next week. Today, about 90 in Garberville, 85 degrees for Orleans, and 91 in Hoopa, 93 for Willow Creek. It's warm, but again, those temperatures dropping back down closer to low 80s by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then look at that, by Saturday, about 74. Siskiyou County, you're looking at temperatures mid-80s, give or take. See McDowell, about 81, 80 degrees for Tennant. There's McLeod at about 83, Gazelle, 85, and Mount Shasta City, about 83. For Modoc County, 82 degrees for Alturas, 79 for Tule Lake, and 79 degrees for Aden. For Eastern Mountains, you're talking temperatures mainly in the 80s, 77 for Mineral, 85 out in Paradise, and 90 degrees out in Quincy. Your Valley neighborhood forecast, yeah, it's getting warmer out there, right? You're talking temperatures generally around the mid-90s, give or take, and looks like a little bit of a dip on Wednesday, back in the mid to upper 90s for Thursday, Friday. Dropping over the weekend. 95 for Redding, all the way down to pretty much Red Bluff, although Anderson about 96. 90 in Whiskey Town and 89 degrees for Lakehead. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Mid-90s for Thursday, Friday, back in the mid to upper 80s over the weekend and into early next week. All right, we're going to cut this one a little bit short out there, folks. I got a big meeting I got to get to, but I want to thank you all so much for watching this morning. I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino back here for their support for Coffee with Krueger as well. And I want to thank you for your support too. So let's get you to it and take a look at some of the cameras that are out there this morning. And we will, there we go. Here it is. And we have got the Divine Sky Cam to start things off and some other cameras. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll see you right here tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger.